Welcome to another episode of Healing Through Love. Each week, we share ideas, experiences, and resources to increase the awareness of domestic and family violence and to empower survivors to grow and thrive. We talk with experts who share their advice, or with people who have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. This is all about healing through love. And now, here are your hosts, Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
The Healing Through Love podcast with host Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson would love to acknowledge Global Glamping Charities Incorporated for generously supporting this podcast. Global Glamping Charities, solving homelessness in all of its forms. Reach out to them at globalglamping.org. The Healing Through Love podcast with Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson. Sherrie Stanley will be taking us through her personal journey and sharing her proven process for nutritional weight gain for kids in episode 42.
They were actually quite hurtful comments, which they thought it was a big joke for people to say in the comments. They used to call her names in sticks or Twix or, these type of things. And it's a lot of family and the friends, your closest friends and their children. And they didn't realise the damage they were doing. She used to get very upset because behind closed doors, we knew it was a big struggle for her to put on weight, where normal children that have no issues putting on weight. And I did seek for a community that sort of really understood and wanted people to understand what we were all going through as a family. So it's very different, just even clothes shopping for them, just really not making them look like clothes are falling off them. There's just social activities, social barbecues, the family gatherings, they're all very anxious times, more than the times that they should be sharing it with your loved ones.
The Healing Through Love podcast with Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to the Healing Through Love podcast. I'm your host, Sharlene Lynch from sharlenelynch.com. Healing Through Love is here to help victims and survivors of domestic and family violence find their way back to living a more fulfilling and meaningful life. We interview experts and survivors who share their stories and offer advice on how to heal wherever they are on the healing journey. As well as the Healing Through Love podcast, we hold annual Pamper Days here in South Australia for survivors of family and domestic violence, where local businesses come together and pay it forward, providing their services and resources for a much-needed day of beautiful indulgence. Think day spa on steroids. And I'm very excited that this month, the month of May, Healing Through Love is going global. So if you're listening to this podcast today and you do offer some type of service, we would love to hear from you to come along to our global launch on the 26th of May. I've got a very, very special guest today. We've got Sherrie Stanley. She's skilled and experienced nutrition advisor and health coach, passionate about helping people achieve their nutritional goals. With customer service and management background, Sherrie has developed a personalised and supportive coaching experience for each of her clients. She specialises in helping people put on weight nutritionally. This is what's different, and has designed a unique coaching program. She also provides coaching on various foods, health and nutrition topics, and takes a holistic approach to wellness. She is committed to empowering clients to make them informed decisions about their well-being and the well-being of their families. You can contact her at the end of today to speak to her on a 15-minute free consult. Well, hello, Sherrie. How are you?
Hello. Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's such a privilege to connect with you today. And we're both in Adelaide, and I've got to say, it's a little on the chilly side. How about you?
It is very chilly.
I'm warming myself up with a hot chocolate just so that I can be internally warm as well as externally warm. I'd love to know if you could share with our listeners a little bit, if it's okay. This is a very specialized field. How did you find yourself to be a specialist in and around putting on weight, which is completely different to everyone else?
Sure, yeah. So many years ago, about more than 30 years ago now, I had twins, and one of my twins was diagnosed with a medical condition, which was a failure to thrive. And we had lots of appointments with doctors and nutritionists and dietitians. They all told us just get food down her, doesn't matter what it is. She needs to have the calories. So we, that was okay when she was a baby, because you generally they don't know any different. Once she got very active, we could see the weight dropping off her. So we noticed she started to have some digestive issues from what we're feeding her. So we had to it wasn't really until she was more of a teenager. She was very conscious of her body, but we already were picking up that, we needed to change some things. So through many trial and error, we really noticed that when I gave her more nutritious food, it didn't give her a stomachache as much. And we sort of really delved deeply and worked out a bit of a process with her and was able to maintain the weight nutritiously. And then she's maintained the weight now. She knows what she needs to eat consistently and nutritiously to maintain the weight. And she's doing very well. And I thought it was I could share my journey and experience with other people. And there's a lot of people that do actually need to put on weight. There's alternatively, the society and the world talk about weight loss, but they don't talk about weight gain. And it is, she was bullied at school. She didn't want to be included in team sports. She was very sort of conscious. Even family and friends used to say, "Oh, put some meat on your bones," and just, the little ridicules they used to do, which really hurt her feelings. And as a parent as well, we were struggling. You always want your children to thrive, and she wasn't. And I had two other children. They were thriving. So I had to be very clever in how I put extra calories into her without giving her different foods from the other two children, because otherwise they would think they're being left out. So it's very tricky in that way as well. I had to use a lot of psychology little tricks. And they're the things, and the people that were around me with the dietitians, they had their job to do, and they were very, I was very thankful to them, but they didn't have the everyday experience in the kitchen like I did, the feelings that we feel from parents not having children that's thriving. And so I thought, well, I can help other people do the same thing.
Oh, I love it. And now your love of this has led you to become an expert in the area, and you've got an offering as well. So now you're a life coach and a nutritionist, and now you have taken it one step further, and you run one-on-one and group programs to help parents with children to help them thrive. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So I just through the journey, I felt like there was a lot of life coaching and automatically, but I just wanted to actually delve down a little bit deeper into the study of it, because feeling like I needed it to help other people. And yes, I just wanted to make sure that we were actually, it wasn't just going to Dr. Google, it was actually getting trained nutritiously, properly using the correct foods, and really done my homework in the way of nutritiously able to help her get the best calories and nutrition at the same time, so to speak. But to share my program with other people, I actually just wanted to make sure I had the backing behind me of the life coach and the nutrition as well.
And it's great that you work with people individually because everyone's got different schedules. And for some people, working individually is going to work better than working in a group program. Yes, and it's all about the price point and about the timing. I love all of this. It's fantastic what you bring, and it's such a very, very niched area. And many of our listeners today would either have a challenge themselves or their children will have a challenge in this area. But can we dive in just a little bit deeper to failure to thrive? Like, is that just one disorder, or is it an umbrella term for lots of disorders? I mean, what does it look like? And normally when is a child diagnosed with failure to thrive?
Sure. So my child had a medical condition, so I already had a warning that she had failure to thrive, so we're already on guard. But however, healthy children can fail to thrive as well. It's a matter of not knowing how many calories they need in a day. You know, all children are very active, and they maybe just have a very fast metabolism and burning their calories very, very quickly. So there's little tips that we can give that increase the calories without them having to feel like they have to eat so much more as well. Now, there is the fast metabolism. There is obviously a medical condition that can be failure to thrive. And there's just not eating enough in the day as well, where you think sometimes they snack and you think they are eating well. Oh, they're always in the fridge, or they're always this, but they're only eating little bits, and that little bit fills them up. And then when it's mealtime, they don't eat enough. So the caloric intake may just not be enough for the day. So we work on that as well. Yeah,
that's fascinating. So it's not just children that have a disorder or a disease. It can be a metabolic rate as well, and also can be fussy eaters as well, because that is really a thing, isn't it? Fussy eaters. And then we've also got all the different ranges of food allergies as well. So there's lots of different things. What fascinates me, and as a mother, I am guilty of this too, is how easy takeaway food is, how easy junk food is, and how much the children want to eat. So you've got these two pressures. It's easy for us because we're always looking for easy, because that's the truth of it. Come on, let's face it. And then you've also got the children's want and desire for that because it's so advertised, because it's a thing to do. There's lots of other things. Talk to me a little bit about, junk food and our preoccupation with, you were even told yourself by specialists, just get the food into them any way you can. And that clearly, from my understanding from what you said, meant get the junk food into them as well.
That's right, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about junk food and all of these misconceptions in and around that?
Sure. So, yes, I was definitely told to, put chocolates and chips and bits and pieces in her lunchbox, a high-calorie food. And we used to, definitely, do the takeaway places a couple of times a week, thinking I was doing the right thing, but probably not by the rest of the family, for starters. But also for her, she would just end up with stomach aches and just got to the point of it wasn't serving her very well. And I'd never really looked at the nutrition side of it. They're just like empty calories. There's no nutrition in there whatsoever. And sorry, excuse me. It's a chilly day here today. Yes, it is. And so once I delved down into the nutrition of the takeaway, yes, still guilty of having it occasionally, but I really cut back on it and really felt like I was actually just giving them a disservice, because I knew there wasn't much nutrition in the takeaway. However, we do understand that, if they've got friends over, if it's a takeaway or if you're out late, still have it. I didn't feel guilty about it. I just let them have it and just made sure the rest of the food throughout the week was really good and nutritious and doing the best we can. So, I was a busy mum working. I had 2 other children, lots of, trying to make my life easy around mealtime because it was always chaotic. So, I didn't feel like I didn't feel guilty with the takeaway if it was only just a very occasional food.
I love it. Okay, so in there is another challenge, is if you're a mother and you've got other children, then you've got this dynamism where you've got, you want to have all the kids as equals. You don't want to do food one way. And then there's also the timing of it as well. You don't want to be doing one meal for one person and then 5 other meals. So you're saying that with this technique that you share, with this process that you share, you actually unpack how you can serve the same meal to everybody, but have a different caloric intake for the person who needs it. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So through my experience, I've had to do that because I didn't have the capacity in my time to make a lot of different meals. And, the daughter that does have medical conditions, she had to have different physios and things at night time as well. So we didn't have time to be playing around the kitchen. I was the sort of trying to make it quick as we can all the time. Now, what I did work out is the food can look the same, but as I was preparing it, or I may have put it in, just before I was preparing it, I might have added some, heavier ingredients, heavier caloric ingredients in there that to look at the food you wouldn't know. Or I just sneak a little bit more, as easy as on toast, they would have butter, and I'd slick some, butter on both sides of breads, or avocado, easy little tips that just look the same to the children, because that was a big thing. They're always thinking that, she already took a lot more of my time because she had a medical condition. Like, I know that they were watching and they used to say to me, and then there's just little tips I had to really trial and error and get through, just making sure that they all felt equally the same. And but on the other side, that she wasn't feeling any different as we either. She wanted to be a normal child. She didn't want to have these special diets and this special food. She wanted to be eating with the family and what we're eating as well. So very hard balancing act, but I did it for many years.
Absolutely. So you've got in the dynamism of having all of these family members and wanting to feed everybody a similar food. Yes. And behind that also sits another challenge for us mothers, and that is time. So some of us have more than one job. Some of us have got lots of children or other responsibilities. And, if the feeding of the masses is left to us, we still need to find a way to make it happen. So in the course that you talk about in this VIP, but also the group program that you talk about, you dive in deep to how people can save time to get the same result and do it in less time. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. So along my way, I had to learn the time and how to meal prep and just do some little tricks that would help me in the kitchen at night time, or, preparing lunches the next morning, or, breakfast. I mean, there was 5 in our family, so 3 children. So it was chaotic. And, definitely had to do a lot of things that would help me time save. So, we had the sports. The other children were playing sports as well. So, and then, trips to the doctors and things. So, and I was working full time. So really had to tone down on my time-saving hacks, so to speak. So
I love it. So you bring a food psychology to the table. Yes.
Definitely.
You're also bringing in, the education aspect and understanding the different levels of the food. Yes. And what is beneficial for everybody, and also aesthetically how it looks, so that everyone can eat the same thing. And then you're also bringing time-saving hacks to the table as well. And then, you alluded to this in our earlier conversation, that it was different when you were speaking to other women who didn't have the same problem. Can you maybe talk a little bit more about that, so that, because not everyone's going to get this, or they will get it from a different perspective, that when you've got a child who has a failure to thrive, people are going to say these comments to you, and, can maybe we talk about that for a little bit?
Sure. They were actually quite hurtful comments, which they thought it was a big joke for people saying the comments. They used to call her names in sticks or Twix, or, these type of things. And it's a lot of family and the friends, your closest friends and their children. And they didn't realise the damage they were doing to, she used to get very upset, because behind closed doors, we knew it was a big struggle for her to put on weight, where normal children that have no issues putting on weight, you know, and their parents just didn't understand. And I did seek for a community that sort of really understood and wanted, you know, people to understand what we're all going through as a family. So it's very different, you know, just even clothes shopping for them, just really not making them look like clothes are, you know, falling off them. There's just, social activities, social barbecues, you know, the family gatherings, you know, they're all very anxious times, more than the times that they should be sharing it with your loved ones.
Oh, that's fascinating. And so what you offer in your program is people to have a community of other people that are going through like similar situations, so that they can, you know, lessen the burden and have those conversations. I love that. That sounds like a complete package, what it is that you're offering. And so can you talk maybe a little bit more about the process? Like how many steps is it, or how long does it take to go through it? And can you talk about that?
Yeah. It's a 8-week program. So we look at where you are now and what are you doing, and I sort of have a look at your eating plans, just so I can sort of identify where there might be some, I can help you with some improvement to sort of get the foods more calorie dense for the child or children that you may need to help, or yourself. Just we work through and where you're at, and then I give you, evaluate situation. I give you it's a bit of a process to trial, because it is all trial and error with our sometimes fussy eaters and children that sort of don't want to have food pushed down them all the time, every day, because they need to put on weight. So I go through your personalised meal plan for your family, not just for that child. So we work through what's going to help you. Now, if it is in a group, instead of the one-on-one, we do actually, we work through that in a special way as well. So I can sort of show you tips and tricks on how to do with the food. And then we reassess, and it is all about, is it 8-week program, because it's not a quick, I'm teaching you lifelong lessons and you can take away. So it's not the quick 4 weeks. That's too quick for, it's been many years that this child's generally struggled to put on weight. It's not a quick fix. It's a process. So we just come back and we reassess, and then we tweak it. I give you support you need. I mean, I've been there, done that. So, I'm, even if it's just me in your community, I'm the person that's been there with you. I understand exactly how you feel when your child doesn't want to eat what you give it, and you've tried 3 different dishes that night just to try and get them to eat something. So, and then, I set you up with a lot of information. There's a lot of information in this program, just so you can feel confident that you're giving your child the nutrition it needs. And you probably already are doing a great job, but this is just calorie dense nutrition, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And you should be able to definitely see some improvement before the 8 weeks is finished as well. So
I love it. And I love your comment about Dr. Google, and it's so true. Now, we've got a Google upstairs and one downstairs, and we are forever asking it a question. Mm-hmm. And not medical, morally about other things, but still, it doesn't matter. And I just find us leaning into that, asking it questions all the time about things that we don't know the answers to. They're more trivial pursuit questions than anything else. But I still find that if that's me and that's what we're doing here, I wonder what the rest of the universe is doing. And you're right, Dr. Google doesn't know all the answers. Yes, and also we've got that they don't have the lived experience. So my background in the shift process, mindset, it's one thing to be a holistic psychologist, fantastic, tick the box. It's another thing for me to have a lived experience of going through mental illness myself, or ably different mental illness, and get myself to the other side where I'm a functioning human. It's a different kettle of fish. So it's
right.
great that you bring both of those, not just the background that you've got here in nutrition and life coaching, but also that lived experience of more than 30 years of helping your child get from a failure to thrive to, come on, tell us a little bit about what she's doing now. I'm just trying to do the maths. How old is she?
Okay, so she's just had her 30th birthday last year, and she still does eat very, very well. Now she knows that she is honouring her body by eating really good nutrition, and she knows that it helps her keep the weight, and she has a lot less digestive issues. And now she's actually living in sunny Queensland, runs 2 businesses, and she's having a baby. So she's had to, making sure that she's full of nutrition and calories, baby, because she did have a bit of a rough time with the morning sickness, but she knew what to do. She knew the steps that we'd been through to make sure that she keeps the weight on. So, and yes, she's thriving, which is just, from a parent, that's the best thing ever that you can have. It's worth all those sleepless nights to find the right program that we can actually, get in there and really work through with her. And yeah. So she is definitely thriving.
What a journey from a child born with failure to thrive to absolutely thriving in life, 2 businesses, married and a child on the way. Like, that's a huge turnaround. With the disorder that your daughter has, is there a general lifespan?
So when she was born, we actually got told that she would probably struggle to make it 27, so she's actually already exceeded that. And they did actually say, she'll probably have some form of diabetes in her teenage years. She'll probably have lots of digestive issues. And she started to, but because we actually pulled everything back, and she hasn't got diabetes, so we sort of caught it in time to really make a difference to her well-being, and really just honed in on the nutrition side. And like you were saying before, it is, I wish I had a me when she was struggling to thrive. And we had a team of doctors and dietitians, and I had them all there, but they didn't live it every day, and they didn't get in my kitchen with me and trying to work things out and trying to, get these children to eat at the table when they're 8 years old, and you're just like, so, they gave me lots of great support in my other ways, and everyone has their place, but they weren't in the trenches with me. And that's what I sort of feel that I want to bring to other people now, because, I feel that we've succeeded, and so I can pass on my successes of helping other people that have children failure to thrive, or need a little bit of help putting on weight. So.
How beautiful that you found your purpose and your passion, something that you fell into, and now you're qualified and you're out there making a difference for other people. And I love it even more so that you're creating that community and you're in the trenches with them, because that's what us as mums we need. We need someone in the trenches with us, who's done it before and can speak our language and understands our time constraints, and that we're not expert psychologists, that everyone thinks we are, but we don't have all of this stuff. And it's really nice to have someone that we can lean on to ask the extra questions. I love the program that you offer. It is simply beautiful. And if you're listening today and it's either yourself or your children that have this challenge with putting on weight, reach out, Sherrie. Now, you've got a 15-minute, is what I understand you're offering for our listeners today. 15 minutes free call, just to have a conversation to see if this might be something that you might be needing to look at. And because it's offered as a one-on-one and also as a group environment, there are different price points. And it's really, from what I've seen in comparison, because I have had a bit of a research and checked out a few things before you jumped on, what I can see of your price points, they are very, very reasonable in comparison to what we get elsewhere. So that's fantastic. And listeners know that it doesn't need to be something, you don't need to be in Adelaide to receive help, as long as you've got access to, a phone,
Phone.
or a laptop, either or, all works. As long as you've got
That's right.
access, you can really dive into this offering, and it can change your life for yourself and your child, and take you to that next level. I love it.
Thank you.
Just in closing, is there anything that you'd like to share with our listeners today? Anything extra as closing words?
Well, I wanted to make it possible. I didn't want to have a one-on-one sitting down at a table. I wanted to make it online, on the phone, however we need to do it, that you can, because we know that we're, time poor mums. And so I wanted to be able to offer this program globally as well, just because there is people, not just in Australia where we are, that need help, but other countries as well. So I just really wanted to make sure that that was available to as many mums as I can help, because I wish I had me when I was a parent of a child as well. But yes, so there's one tip I want to give you. If you can, if you book a 15-minute free chat, you can certainly get one of my ebooks. It's about it's got some ingredients there that will help you sneak into some food. So you'll get that complimentary. And just don't underestimate what you can do with an avocado sneaking it in food. So avocado is a beautiful, high-fat, nutrient-dense food. And it's sort of, you can use it instead of butter, or you can use it as well as on top of butter. You can sneak it in a lot of foods and they won't know. It's a perfect baby's first food. So it can be given to babies. You can mix it up and make a chocolate mousse and all these things, sneaky things. So that's my tip for today. Try and get an avocado a day into your child, whatever way you can. And it's a very high calorie, high nutrient dense food. So.
And cholesterol count. It's great for your good cholesterol, not your bad cholesterol.
That's right. Yeah.
Good to combat the bad. So I love it on every level. Passionate about what you do. In our link in the show notes and in the bio, you're going to see the link to have a 15-minute conversation with Sherrie.
Yep.
And she's also got a sales brochure she can send out to you as well with more information. It's been a privilege and a pleasure to connect with you. Listeners, before you go, remember, if you're a wellness practitioner yourself, or you offer some type of service, whether it be skincare, makeup, hair care, or anything that's got to do with beauty or wellness, please reach out to us. We've got our global launch coming up in the end of May, that is. I think I just double-checked the date. I believe I should know that off the top of my head. And it's the 26th of May, and Adelaide time 9:30. So that's in the eastern states. That's 10 o'clock for the global launch of Healing Through Love, going global. We're very, very excited about that. Thank you for spending your quality time with us today. Bye for now.
The Healing Through Love podcast with Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.